Welcome to AI with Fizzy. Today we're diving into something truly futuristic and a bit hilarious. The World Humanoid Robot Games, which just wrapped up in Beijing. Think Olympics, but for humanoid robots. Over 500 android athletes from 280 teams across 16 countries battled it out in sports, chores, and chaos. Let's unpack what happened and why it matters. Firstly, let's start off with the event. This was a 3-day showcase held at Beijing's National Speed Skating Oval, originally built for the 2022 Winter Olympics. 280 teams, 500 plus humanoid robots from universities and private companies across 16 countries, including US, Germany, Brazil, and the UK. The competitions that were participated in the games were football, track and field, boxing, table tennis, and also tasks like sorting medicine, cleaning, material handling. Okay, so that was a small intro in terms of the games itself. It was a 3-day game held in Beijing, in the same stadium that was used in the Winter Olympics. Now, when I was reading on this, I was thinking, how come there wasn't much publicity? There wasn't much media coverage. It felt it was quite under closed doors. And it begged to me in terms of, was this done on purpose? Are we ready? Is the human world ready to see or view a robotic Olympics? I'm pretty much excited about this, to be honest, because it gives a different realm into what we can do as humans, especially as AI develops even more, especially in sports. We're now coming over to the next phase of AI where we're seeing robotics, especially humanoid robotics, perform human tasks, especially within sports. Now, this is something that we've probably seen in cartoons, or we may have seen on a TV show, etc. But this is real life. And we're now seeing robots built by various countries, by the top universities across the world, compete in an Olympic Games, not just in sports, but also in house leisure, in chores, in cleaning, even in healthcare, medicine. Wow, we're going into a new realm of AI and a new realm of how we envision sports. And I'll be honest, I'm here for it. I'm here to not understand the capabilities of these robots, but I'm here to see which countries actually performed the best. Like, which countries actually won and took gold. We're currently in a race of, we call it the robotics race, the AI robotics race. And this race is heating up because we're now seeing more and more countries invest heavily in AI. We're seeing more countries invest in more robotic engineering. And we're now seeing the two combine to now build humanoid robots that can compete in games. We've got to go a bit further than this. Let's go. So let's talk about the sports and the spectacle here. Basically the highlights. Robots attempted football scrums, hurdled, did kung fu, boxing, even danced, and played instruments during the opening ceremony. This was an all-robotic fest. There was no human intervention in terms of humans playing with robots. This was purely a robots-only Olympic Games. There was plenty of slips, stumbles, like crawling humanoid, facing, planting, or freezing mid-move, prompting chairs and laughter. So it's not all the way perfect, should we say. There is some discrepancies. However, despite the slips, the stumbles, and the crawling of these humanoid robots, there was still some human laughter and cheer to it. which brings the positivity and the humorous side of this. But the most notable moments were the 4 robots collapsed in a heap during a football match. Now, this is not what we see normally in a human-based football match, but as universities and countries become better in the algorithm of these robots, we probably start to see less of that. But none to say, this was surely funny and humorous for the spectacle to see. Another robot literally slammed into a human operator while running at full stride. The human fell and the robot stayed up. Talk about means of power. Talk about means of strength. The fastest 1,500 meter robot completed in 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Or 6 minutes 34, which is much slower than human world record 3 minutes 26 seconds. So the fastest robot achieved the 1,500 meter sprint, or should I say jog, in 6 minutes and 29 seconds, which is still a lot slower than the human record of 3 minutes 26 seconds. There's other successes. Some robots stood back up autonomously. Unitree's H1 robot won the race. UniX AI's wheeled robot cleaned the room in just over 8 minutes. So there were some notable moments that caused a lot of laughter, caused a lot of cheers, brought humans together, probably the world's smartest humans together. And it was all in the expense of robots. You know, we had robots falling down in football games. We had 1,500 meter sprint completed in 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Now, believe me, that's gonna get a lot faster as they start to improve the algorithm in these robots, especially as engineering begins to expand. But it's still a great achievement. Even though it's 3 minutes less than the current human record, it's not too far off when you think about it, this being the first games. And obviously we all laugh about the robot that delved first into its operator, but you can see where it's going and where it's heading. It's bringing a human interaction with robots that we've probably never thought or vision we can see today. I'm going to call it a success. I'm going to call it a success because I feel as if for where we are currently in the robotics journey and the race to build the most intelligent robot, this is by far a great accomplishment across all the different countries involved that actually competed in universities. This is a spectacle that one is in the history books as the first ever games done in Beijing, China. So yes, it is a success. There are some funny parts, but there's some parts that we have to take into consideration and say, how far is robots from achieving real human ability? Now that's the scary part. So I'm going to talk to you about why I believe it was a success. So the research and the value data collection, each tumble, freeze and collision was valuable training data for embodied AI systems. Think of it as ChatGPT for now, where it learns based off historical data, but the more data you give these tools to learn, the more advanced it becomes. You can also take the consideration of a baby learning how to walk. It will tumble down, it will fall down, the legs will feel jelly, but it will continue to persevere and try to walk until it reaches the balance needed to walk and keep itself up straight. There was also controlled failures. In a high pressure setting that accelerates the real world learning, like DARPA's self-driving car challenges. To do this in an environment where anything can go wrong with robots, it was very controlled, especially in high pressure climate and a high pressure stakes. it seemed that it was a well-controlled and well-thought-out games from top universities that wanted to showcase their robots. There was also testing in diverse domains. Sports test coordination, chores test manipulation, football aid perception and decision making, clean and task test autonomy and environmental interaction. So there's so much diversity in these games. There wasn't just focused on just sports, there was also chores. There was also cleaning involved. There was also healthcare. So are we seeing a new realm of the Olympic Games? Are we going away from the norm of the javelin, the long jump, the 100-meter sprint? Are these new set of games going to widen our minds and our thought process in terms of what robots can do and showcase what they can do in terms of, I'm not going to say talent, but more so what they can do for us as humans? Now, let's talk about the strategic investment here. The event is part of China's broader AI robotics ambition. Over 20 billion in subsidies, as planned 1 trillion yuan. Fund for robot startups. So this wasn't just a games for showboating, but it was also games for networking, building investments, having people showcase what their current robots can do and build on investments, build on networking to develop even more. This also demonstrates the commitment to advancing robotics to address aging population and labor challenges. Limitations and failures. So, the robots remain clumsy and slow. Most struggled with simple tasks. One robot took 17 minutes to throw away 9 pieces of trash. Others froze or moved awkwardly. Task automation isn't ready. The real world has unpredictability and complexity these bots still can't handle reliably. Many advances still confined to lab demos, teleoperations, or hybrid systems, not full autonomy yet. So there was pros and there was cons to this. The pros were, it was a success from a standpoint of an investment to build more, better robots. There was pros in terms of being able to handle and execute various different games. The success was how you think about it. This was a huge milestone in human creativity. However, as much as I think this was a success, I have to also delve into the negatives. And again, one of the robots taking an extremely long time to throw away trash. Still not being able to be fully autonomous. It still needed human operations, human interactions. So as much as we think about this being a success from outside looking in, we've got to think inside the box and say, well, we're not all the way there with autonomy of robots yet. And quite frankly, I'm also happy about that, because I think until we get everything right and we ensure that the algorithm is clean, and not only that, but the robots are capable of being autonomy without human operations or human interventions that doesn't cause harm to humans, then yeah, it's not all the way successful yet. We still got a long way to go, but we're making the right strides into building robotics and extremely challenging the field of robotic engineering with these games. Talk about the future, robots in sports and industry. Well, the sports competition provide a proven ground for technologies that could be repurposed in factories, warehouse, healthcare, and hospitality. The global race of collaboration, 16 countries competed with teams from university, startups, and corporates, signaling global interest. We'll talk about autonomy versus safety. Well, fully autonomous matches already occurred. like the 3-on-3 AI-driven robot soccer pre-event. The future goal is safe human-robot interaction, maybe mixed games to build public trust. Stumbling into progress. Well, the robot games reflect a messy middle glimpse of future promise framed in public spectacle. So let's conclude. So were the humanoid robot games a success? Well, yeah, kind of. They were messy, sometimes hilarious, but also high valuable. Robots still can't outrun a child, but they're learning, and every fail is a lesson. The question I have for you is, what did you find most surprising? A robot race, dancing humanoids, or maybe the one that threw the trash for 20 or 17 minutes? Let me know in the comments. And I also want to say, in my next video, I will be talking about Tesla and Amazon in their race in robotics to go even a step further. And this one may be a bit scary and a bit more dark. So stay tuned for that in my next video. I will probably make it in a setting like this. But this is AI with Fizzy. Hope you really enjoyed this video. And please like, share, and subscribe. And comment down below, what was your favorite part of the games if you tuned in? Or would you ever tune into a robotics Olympic Games? Let me know down below. Stay living with AI, and peace.